Alright guys, I'm out here working on Jane Doe Charger, my 1973 Dodge Charger, that previously had a just a factory 318 and all that lame stuff. But since me and Dad pulled the 440 out of that car and he's got a 400 to put in it, the 440 is going to live in here for a while. And plan is to take both cars up to Carlisle this year, which is about a month away. So even though it's pouring down rain about all day today, I'm still in here working on the car. So what I'm doing now is, you can see this here diamond plate I put on there. That is for a sway bar mount. And you might be wondering, well, why didn't you just install a new K member? You see, that's a lot of work and I don't feel like doing that. So I figured I'll have my hand in trying to fabricate one. And I'm flux core welding them on there, mainly because that's all I have. And I've welded enough stuff together with it that I know that it'll probably be strong enough if I build it right. But, judging by the awesome factory welds everywhere on this K member, yeah, I know those are going to look much better than that. So hopefully it won't break off, but if it does, I'll just build it back stronger. So yeah, I'm going to get this side finished up and then show you the finished product, and then rinse and repeat on this side. So yeah, fun. Alright, so I got the driver's side sway bar mount all welded up, and I think it looks decent. I know the welds aren't the best, but I'm working with what I got, which is diamond plate and a flux core welder. So you'll have that. I'm hoping I can get this side most of the way done. I don't know if I'll have it fully welded, but basically what I'm going to do, or what I did for this side, was I just took some cardboard, which this was a cardboard box, but it got wet because it's been raining all day. But this, basically, I took it and cut it out to about the size I needed for the metal, about like that, and traced that out on my piece of metal and cut it out and then welded it in. So basically for this side, all you gotta do is flip it over, take it and flip it this way, and then bingo bango, you don't gotta measure or cut anything else out. So hopefully I still have all these scrap pieces of cardboard around that I used, so hopefully I can just trace all them and cut them out. But I guess we will see. And hopefully that side is going to look like this side when we're done. So yeah, so stay tuned for more updates. Alright, so as you can see, we got both sides all welded in, and I'm hoping they'll be strong enough. I don't know, I guess time will tell. But so now all I gotta do is paint everything and then drill a couple holes, one there and one there, and then put the sway bar in, and then of course gotta replace the lovely K member bushings. But yeah, and then I can paint the whole engine bay and get her looking snazzy. Well, at least under the engine bay. The car is still going to have dents and dings and rust, but that'll be okay because engine bay will look pretty. So alright, so we're back on the Charger. It's a new day, nice and sunny. But as you guys saw, I got my sway bar mounts all finished up, and now I'm moving on to the K member mounts, the bushings that go there. And really isn't going to be as simple as just unbolt the old bolts and swap in new ones, because as you see, this one up here, and it's not terrible bad. The one underneath isn't bad either, but this one, as you can see, she's shot, and the lower mount wasn't doing much bushing either. And as you can see, giant hole in the K member and lots of rusted away. So now what I get to do is measure this piece, whack it off about right there, and yeah, basically make a new one. This piece back here is still good, so I'm going to use that as a kind of a guide, I should say. I'm going to cut it at this corner, and yeah, basically just make a new end. It might not be perfect, but it'll be better than that, and that is what matters, because that honestly is not safe, and especially with a big block, that one wouldn't be very good to have the K-member fall out. That'd be kind of funny, but not good. So alright, I'll get to cutting and welding, and I'll be back. Alright, so don't mind the mess. Things got a little out of control. Had to bring the gas powered air compressor, the generator, all to run a plasma cutter. But as you can see, you know, I mean, it doesn't look the best, but you know, work with what I've got, and you know, I don't think it turned out too bad for, you know, the circumstances. But so now all I gotta do is wait for paint to dry. I figured I'd just paint underneath and up above, that way I can, because this stuff's still all dirty and everything, and because of course the car can't move. So I figured I'd clean these areas up, paint them, and then I can put the bushings in on this side, and then later down the road, you know, clean all this off and paint it. So yeah, I'm going to wait for paint to dry, then put some bushings in. Yay. Alright, so as you can see, I got this side driver's side all together with the new poly mounts and everything, and I got the passenger side all torn apart, cleaned up. The rear of the K-member on the passenger side is actually in pretty darn good shape, unlike the driver's side, but I ain't even gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna clean it off and spray some paint on it. So it's getting late, so I don't know how much of this I'll bother with tonight, but we're getting there. One step closer to Carlisle, baby. Woo! Alright, so as you guys can see, I got the passenger side bushings in, and now they weren't as bad as the driver's side because I didn't have to fabricate anything, but I don't know if the frame rail's bent or the K-member's bent or something, but this one went right in. Had to pry down on it a little bit, but that one, holy cow, I had to get me something to pry with that wasn't a stick, and yeah, it finally went in there. It wasn't too bad once I got something to pry on, but I don't know what's going on, but it's in there now and everything looks good. So you know, I really need to paint these wheel wells. Later. So yeah, next on the agenda will be finish painting in here. Still need to fix that rust hole. It goes all the way through into the inside, so I think I'm just going to fix the outside for now and then deal with the rest later. And I need to fix over there where the, of course, battery juices have ate through the battery tray. But you know, it's just time and money, that's all it is. So all right guys, that'll do it for now. I'll pick you up if anything interesting happens. All right, so this is day 3 and I've been out here working on this thing. My parts showed up, so that's cool. Still waiting on more, of course, but today I'm going to tackle this rust that was underneath the battery tray. As you can see, battery tray is pretty much toast. I'll have to scrounge up another one of them. Out of how many cars? No, I was joking. I might make something and fix that one. But anyways, I gotta tackle this because, you know, as much as lightning holes are cool, I don't want my battery to fall through the, you know, car. That wouldn't be good. So I don't have a Sharpie. I'll have to find one. But so basically what I'm gonna do is cut out all the rusty metal that, like this is really thin, but this over here where it's shiny, that's good metal. So I'll basically cut out a big square, come up here and cut all this out, and then find, you know, an old deck lid or door, or, you know, whatever, and cut it out and bend it and weld it back in. And I'm not going to worry about these little nut things, since you can just reach under the car. I'll just drill a hole. There's still a hole there and a bolt there, so I'll just, yeah, that's that. Hopefully knock this out pretty soon, and then I'll tackle that little hole. And then I got to remove, gotta take steering box off, steering column out, take the brake booster off, all the stuff on the firewall, and then sand everything and get it ready for paint. So let's get to it. All right, so another day or evening working on the Charger. If I had days, it'd probably go a lot faster. Anyways, so got the hole back there on the firewall all patched up, I mean, to the best of my capabilities. And as you can see, got a little bit of primer on what we did yesterday. And right now I'm working on getting the steering column out, and I'm gonna take the brake booster, unbolt all that, and I'll probably just lay that and the proportioning valve, just lay it kind of down out of the way so I can sand around it, and then eventually paint it here in a little bit. But yeah, I figured if I get the engine bay looking nice, then I can eventually get the whole car looking nice. So here, I'll show you how the steering column comes out. So basically on these cars, it's not very difficult. Let's see here, there's a bolt here and then a bolt over here. Let me get some light on it. So there's a bolt there and another one over there. As you can see, they're removed. And then you got these two plugs, one here and one here, one white, one blue. That's your main harness for the column. And then this plate back here, that's on the firewall. It's hard to see, bad at filming, but there's 3 bolts in that. One's under the carpet, but 3 bolts in that. You take them out and basically unhook, if it's a column shift vehicle, unhook your shift linkage at the column, and the whole column just kind of comes out, and of course move seat back and all that stuff. So I've done it about 1,000,000 times in this car, as I don't know, just had it out. But hopefully it won't give me no trouble this time. So let's get to it.